What about a dude named Battle Truth? You ever heard of him?
Battle Truth. I think Battle Truth, he tells it from his perspective. He I've seen some of his stuff. I'm not familiar with all of it. But I
That
think
nigga's funny.
he's funny. I think in the beginning, because I remember when I first started seeing it, he tried to have this judge theme. And I think he realized just being straight up was the best thing for him. You know what I mean?
He's himself.
You know what I mean? But
this up. Okay, Battle Truth on YouTube. You are one of my official go-to sources. As you know, I'm still involved in battle rap behind the scenes.
15 minutes of fame, they won't promote your content. They said the Battle Truth is that rocker piper boy, and they did a blog about it.
Where's my damn gavel at? Hold on. Here! Take it! Take it! Bang the gavel on your damn self. Don't worry, I'll do it for you. No, man. Get up out of here with that trash, man. No, man.
What it do, man? It's your boy Battle Truth coming to you live and direct from the Battle Truth headquarters, along with my co-host, Miss Jess. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me? Yeah, I hear you clear.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that being said, man, we got some breaking news to present to the people, man. New documentation been released on Unbiased, man. New documentation that we definitely need to go through, man, and talk about, man. So let's get to this documentation, man. So apparently, for those of y'all who don't know, Chris Unbiased is right now where he had in court date. He is awaiting trial. We're in the last stages of his case where he is awaiting trial right now. Some of the evidence is out on appeal that we is expecting to be back sometime in September. So September the 9th, we'll have more information to update on that. But we got some new information. We got some new information.
You're breaking up really bad.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
What about right now?
You're fine now. That whole intro was crazy.
Okay, so with that being said, look, we got some breaking news on Unbiased. You hear me clear?
Yes, I can hear you clear right now.
Okay, so we got some new breaking news out on Unbiased. They just released some new documentation, things like that. Let me just, for time's sake, let me just get straight to it, man. So it's right here is what we're looking at right now. It's 105 pages on this. We need to get right off into this. We pressing for time, man. So let's get right off into this. We got some new information breaking on this, brother. And as a result of that, we're going to read some of this stuff, man, and go through this and break some of this stuff down here. Let me take this out too. Okay, so Christopher Gumpy, where we at right now, his paperwork is out on appeal. These are new documentations. As you can see, the date above tells you that this was August 18th, 2023 in these transcripts. So this right here is them adding more proof to.
They're filing an appeal.
Yeah, but I wanted to. They already filed the appeal. They adding to the appeal. I further certified notice of appeal that at the DeKalb Superior Court case was filed on February of 2023 and transmitted also from March 14, 2023, the Court of Appeals of Georgia case. So they want to add to it, and they want to get more evidence to it. So they say, I further certify that the supplemental record should be considered as part of the original record on the appeal. So they want to put more evidence to go with the appeal that they already have in motion for reinstating some of the evidence that was actually thrown out as a result of certain documentations wasn't legally done when getting that warrant to enter into his house. So apparently what ended up happening was when they got the phone number to UNBIAS's rape operation he was doing, what ended up happening was, as a result of that, what ended up happening was they went to the T-Mobile place to get a ping on the location of that phone to find out where he was. They were supposed to have got a warrant before doing that. And because they didn't get a warrant before doing that, when they did get the warrant after they found out where he was as a result of pinging that number first without the warrant, the judge threw out some of that evidence as a result of them not going about it the legal way. But their argument was that this was a serial rapist on the loose, and they needed to take direct action because he was going to strike again, seeing that he had already raped 2 women within a 24-hour time. So they just released more evidence, more footage, documentations of proof against him. So they released the truck. So this was the truck right here that he owned, that he was raping these women in. So this is the truck right here that he was raping these women in, that you see here. This is inside of the truck where he was raping these women at, and this is very crucial because some of these rapes took place in the passenger seat. Right. Because the way he had this rape van set up, where he had all the back seat gutted out, where he could rape these women in. So it would only be 2 seats up front and the rest gutted out. This right here, you see right here, is the blood that was taken from the car. He actually stabbed one of the victims, and this is the blood that they got from the vehicle by which the woman was stabbed. We're going to talk about that too. Then you see right here how he had the back laid out to have sex with these women. They go to blanket and sheet he would have laid out where he would actually be riding around raping these women using his truck as a rape vehicle on wheels. So this was his 18 assault vehicle. Yeah. So look at that. He actually got a food tray right here. Because you know they even got him for kidnapping and holding them for hostages. This dude, terrible. Look at that. So we got the blood right here. They showing the sample where they got the blood out the car. Then they showing where he had it set up in the rape. Then right here, we seeing some of the things that were taking place here with some of the evidence by which it was presented, you know what I'm saying, showing that this is what they went to T-Mobile to do. I understand the decision to provide T-Mobile information of the services of the descriptions of T-Mobile. So, because they went to T-Mobile, letting it be known that this guy was raping women, and they needed to find out where he was immediately because he raped 2 women under 24 hours, and they had to use their expertise and operate accordingly. So this is what they're arguing inside of the appeal right now. That's what the T-Mobile paperwork was. They had to get that paperwork to find out where he was, and this was done by a black woman, the head detective of the crime of the investigation. Her name is Katrina Evans. This is a black woman. Remember, he tried to make it seem like it was a white thing. Like, yeah, I'm a black man, and these white folk trying to set me up and put cases on me at a time where we was actually having racial tension with the police as a result of the George Floyd situation, you know. So he really wanted to really use that and drive that home so that people could sympathize with him, when in reality, this was a black leading detective woman, and the victims who he raped was black women. So keep that in mind. More pictures of the SUV, how they got it, when they bought it in, when they got it from his house right here, when they came to arrest him. So it's right here in front of his house. So what you see right here is all the persons who was involved in the grand jury of indicting him, just showing you that these were people of education who really put in a lot of years in the force, who actually ain't no strangers, that actually indicted him. These people have backgrounds of law enforcement study, schooling, psychology, criminal investigation, psychology, medical. So this man was not just indicted and arrested by hearsay or some people just setting him up. These are people with all type of degrees and masters, and literally like you see here. So this is showing you that the indictment was legit based upon the 23 persons and their whole years of being involved in the judicial system and things like that. So that's what this showing you, that these just wasn't regular persons. These people got all type of masters and bachelors who looked into the evidence to actually find probable cause to indict. That's what you see going on here, you know, and all the places where the evidence was taken to be analyzed and, you know, looked into, you know. So that's what they're showing you right here. Now, as we go up into what's taking place, I want to show you this. So let's get off into some of the story, right? Okay. So right here, we have Kiera Simmons. Let's get to some more of this evidence. So we have Exhibit D, Kiera Simmons, and let's read it. The investigation into the state of Georgia versus Christopher Gunsby, who was charged with the rape in violation of false imprisonment, in violation of robbery, in violation of battery, visible harm, in violation, revealed the following facts and events. Okay. So on June 17, 2017, DeKalb County uniformed officers responded to DeKalb Medical Hospital in reference to a rape. Special Victims Unit was contacted, and I responded to DeKalb Medical to meet with Kiera Simmons. The statement was recorded. According to the victim, she was referred to the cash taxi, suspected for a ride because the cash taxi suspect for a ride because he identified himself on Craigslist as a driver who accepted cash payment. She advised that she received the number from a friend who used the driver one time in the past. The victim advised that she called the number, spoke with the male who identified himself as Dre. So he was going up under the name of Dre at this cash taxi that he was using to rape these women. This was his operation. He agreed to pick the victim up at her house located on Kilkenny Circle. The suspect sent by text a picture of himself prior to arriving at the victim's home, what Ubers you see doing now. Like when you call an Uber, The Uber company lets you know who's on the way, what car they driving, and they send you a picture of them for your safety so that you could be aware of who the person is that's coming to get you and don't get into the wrong car, posing to be a Uber. When this guy, again, had his own Uber rape service going on. So depending on who the person was that called, who the person was with, most likely that's how he chose who he was going to rape. So if you was somebody that was little and you was by yourself and he may have thought you were attractive to him in some type of way, most likely he was going to prey on you. So as you read this, it say, when the driver arrived, the victim advised she was standing outside of her home. The two spoke over the phone as she directed him to her front door. The victim entered the front passenger seat of the vehicle, a black SUV, unknown tags. The male drove eastbound of Kilkenny Circle, making two right turns out of the subdivision of Osbury Drive. The victim stated the black male described that 5'10" stocky build, wearing gray jogging pants, white t-shirt, gray and white tennis shoes, suddenly pulled over to the wrong side of the road, stopped the vehicle in front of a private address later identified as 7385 Asbury Ave. The victim stated the suspect moved to the passenger side of the vehicle and began pulling her dress up and her panties down. She stated he was too strong as she tried to fight him off. He got on top of her and forced his penis into her vagina. When the assault stopped, the suspect placed the vehicle in drive and began to speed away. So after he raped her, he jumped right back into the driver's seat and put the car in drive and began to speed away with her. Watch this. The victim stated she opened the passenger door and attempted to get out of the vehicle. The suspect picked up speed. In other words, when he looked back and seen her trying to get out of the car, he hit the gas so it can go faster so she won't jump out of the car at a pace where she feels she could take the chance and jumping out, surviving the fall into moving traffic. So to prevent her from doing that, he hit the gas pedal so it could accelerate more speed. It say the victim held on to the door, and when the suspect did not stop the vehicle, the victim fell from the moving vehicle. So after he raped her, I don't know where he was taking her, Sister Jess. He was taking her somewhere. Where do you think this man probably was going to take this woman after taking her against her will, raping her? Because I'm pretty sure he wasn't going to take her for a bite to eat or romance her into. No, after you rape somebody, take them against their will, they scared for their life. You ain't kick her out of the car. You ain't told her to get out, but you get her in the car and you try to drive off with her somewhere else. Mm-hmm. That's the thing I want people to consider also if we go deep into this. Like, because just the thing about this, sis, is these people don't think this man actually did this because he fooled them in his battle rap community into believing he was a nerd, he was lame, he was corny, he was a sucker who didn't really know how to fight. He come from a nice neighborhood of upbringing, and how humble he would be in these blogs. They do not believe that this man is capable of doing these things. What you say about that?
To answer your question about where he could possibly be driving her off to, I would say he was going to get rid of her, just like he got rid of his other victims. This is just the one person that was able to escape. So I don't think he. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You don't think he what?
I don't think he was going to bring her back to her house. I don't think he was going to bring her to her destination, especially since he just violated the law and is a criminal. He was definitely going to bring her somewhere where she will not be able to expose him. And
right.
Get rid of the evidence.
I definitely believe that. This is another thing we're going to prove in this video. I actually want to prove that this man is really a killer, that he was going to kill these women in some way or another. Because again, he just raped this woman. He got her in the car as a prisoner. He's driving off with the woman. He see her trying to get out, and he hit the gas like real fast so she can't get out. Right? Then it said she sustained injuries to her shoulder, back, legs from the fall. Photograph was taken of her physical injuries. Her cell phone identification, along with a Walmart card valued at $50, was still in the vehicle. She stated she lost one of her shoes, a black and pink Nike slipper. As she ran towards her home, a neighbor observed her injuries, and after telling the neighbor what had happened, they immediately drove the victim to the hospital. So a neighbor ongoing looker saying what had took place while the car was driving off in traffic. On the way to the hospital, the victim saw the suspect black SUV parked on the curb of South Deshaun Road. She pointed out, "That's him." And the neighbor turned around to get a better look. The victim said they pulled directly behind the black SUV, and she wrote down a partial tag on a piece of paper. She said she could see the driver sitting inside the vehicle. Because she and the neighbor was afraid for her safety, she continued to the hospital and called 911. A sexual assault kit was later collected and submitted to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation for testing. When the victim was released from DeKalb Medical Hospital later this same date, she showed me exactly where the vehicle stopped and the assault occurred. While conducting a check along the driveway of the incident location to conduct the check of the area of the assault, basically to verify what she said was true, I spotted a black and pink Nike slipper about 100 feet. Like she said, she lost one of her shoes, the pink and black Nike slipper. Mm-hmm. Up the driveway of the vacant house. So it was a vacant house he took her to where he raped her at. So up the driveway of the vacant house with the address listed on the tree in front of the home at 7385. So he took her to a vacant house, 7385, where he raped her. The victim stated the incident occurred in the street, and she did not know how the slipper got in the yard. She was unable to provide a suspect's phone number because her phone was taken by the suspect. Exactly. He sent her a picture earlier before pulling up to show that I'm your Uber driver. So here's the picture. So when I pull up, you know it's me when you're getting in the car. So now I can see why he took her phone, because he had already sent his photo in her phone by which it could identify him as being the one who actually raped her. So he took her property. He took her property from her. So that makes sense of why he did that. On Saturday, June 18, 2017, she was able to get the suspect's cell phone number from Simona Taylor, the same person that originally gave her the number. Ms. Taylor advised during the interview that after surgery at Atlanta Medical Center, her doctor informed her that she could not leave the hospital unless she had transportation home. Because she was anxious to leave, she Googled Craigslist and got the suspect's number. I'm going to say unbiased rather than suspect, so y'all could keep in mind who we're talking about. So she went to Craigslist and she Googled Craigslist and she got unbiased number. He arrived and transported her home without incident. That's because he had to come to the hospital. You know, his mama and them work at those hospitals. So he aware of the security they have. He aware of the cameras that's there. He aware of those things. So when he came to the hospital to pick up this woman, for the most part, he didn't do nothing to her. So that's what it's saying. He got her, but didn't do nothing to her because he had to go into the hospital. And it could be said that the last time she was seen was in this SUV who came and picked her up from the hospital. So he didn't do nothing to her. So when Kiara called her friend for a ride, her friend like, oh, I know this guy. He give rides. I could bet he probably was working on her though. That's probably why he gave her his information and stuff like, yeah, in case you need a ride some other time, just hit me up, sweetheart, earning her trust. So she tell Kiara, yeah, I got a ride for you. Hit this dude up, you know what I'm saying? And he'll give you a ride because I was at the hospital when he gave me a ride. He cool, like the battle rap community believe too. So it says, so she provided the victim with the same number when the victim needed a ride, okay? Earlier this same date, Sunday, June 18th, another female was sexually assaulted with similar transaction. A black male who in his 30s, 6 foot, 230 pounds, driving a black SUV. The second female also had to fall from a moving vehicle after she was forced to perform oral sex of UNBIAS. And he refused to stop and let the victim out of the vehicle. During the assault, the victim was cut on her wrist by an unknown weapon. The suspect kept the victim's cell phone. This second incident gave cause for concern of a possible serial rapist alert. So look what just happened here. It said during the time when he was forcing her to give him oral sex and she was trying to jump out of the car, he cut her. The victim was cut on her wrist by an unknown weapon. So he cut her. That's why I say a weapon. She wasn't able to see what it was because she was too busy trying to get out of the car. And she had her back turned to him as she was getting out of the car while he was, whatever weapon he had, when he was threatening to kill her. I'm going to show you that too in the text. He was threatening to kill her. He ended up cutting her at the same time she jumping out. And this after he assaulted her. Again, it goes right back to what we said earlier, sis. After he raped Kiara, the first girl, he was driving to take her somewhere. She jumped out of the car while it was moving. This what happened, same thing here. After he forced this woman to get him head here, she trying to get out of the car, he driving off with her, and then he ends up cutting her with a weapon. She was not able to identify because she was jumping out in the traffic because she was in fear of her life. She was like, I'm going to take my chance. You just go out to kill me because I'm jumping out of this car. So the suspect kept the victim's cell phone. This second incident gave cause for concern of a possible serial rapist. So he did the same thing to Karen. Based on the information, the exigent circumstance request form was submitted to T-Mobile, the suspect phone subscriber. So this is where the purpose of why this appeal petition is going in. Because after this evidence, they went to T-Mobile, took that phone number where we see right here, the cell phone ping for the number. They went to ping this number at T-Mobile, revealed that the phone was located at his house. So this is where the rape phone was located at his house. And this is where they got a little bit in trouble because they went and go get the ping without getting the search warrant for the ping. But they acted upon repulse as a result of him just raping 2 women back to back under a 24-hour time. So on June 21st, 2017, Sergeant Briggs, Detective McNeil, Detective Lewis, and I responded to Rockdale Magistrate Court, and the search warrant was obtained for the residence. So after they found out where he was, they went and go get a search warrant then. But they were supposed to got a search warrant for the ping. And this is why the judge threw out some of the evidence when hitting his house and finding all that evidence because of this situation right here. So he trying to hope he can get off on a technicality. Not that he's not guilty of what he did, but since the police didn't get a warrant for getting all that evidence out of his house, some of that evidence got threw out, and he hoping he can get off a technicality. So, so going back down on this, right? So it say, so the suspect fitting the description given by the victim identified as Christopher Gunsby Unbiased was detained. DeKalb County Crime Richardson responded, photograph was taken and the list of property removed. is listed. A black expedition was impounded. A black chrome Cobra handgun was stolen out of DeKalb County, was located. Now, this right here is crazy. So a gun that they found him with, that even the victim said he was using against them, threatening to kill them, that gun somehow was stolen out of the DeKalb County, Now, here's the thing. Here's the mystery. It was either stolen while he used it against these women, or it was taken into their possession, then signed over into evidence, and it was stolen out of evidence. I'm going to believe that it may have been stolen out of evidence, because I don't know if it was stolen from the county, then he had it in his possession, it was using it against the women. I believe that it was signed over into evidence and somebody took it out of evidence, probably some dirty cop doing some dirty stuff, because, you know, they'll get them stowaway guns, you know, I don't know. But somebody took the gun. So that's probably why he ain't even charged with the gun, because it was taken out of evidence. Somebody took it out of evidence. You know, not to say that his mama and them probably ain't pay somebody to get rid of it, because, you know, his mama connected with all type of politicians. The victim's cell phone was found in a garage attic in a black backpack, along with a plastic bag containing counterfeit $20 bills bearing the same serial number on each fake bill. So he was raping women and he was actually robbing people. See, this dude was a dirty dude. Not only was he raping women, depending on him doing this cab thing, if he came and gave you a ride and you gave him money, he was exchanging your real money with fake money. Or even if he was prostituting him, getting women, he was paying them in fake money. So he was just dirty all around the board, But talking about he got all this money, he makes six figures, right? So he had these fake counterfeit $20 bills. The counterfeit money was taken and turned over to Rockdale Fraud Unit, Detective Best. The suspect's second cell phone that he provided during execution of a warrant on Craigslist. The ping cell phone was located in a shoe on the closest shelf, on the closet shelf of bedroom 2. So he put the phone inside of a shoe on top of the shelf. So he was hiding this from his wife. So he took the burner phone he was raping women with, had it on silent, stuck it inside of a shoe, then put it on the top shelf where his wife couldn't reach it or find it inside one of his shoes. Terrible. The phone was on silent, but it would vibrate. The original search warrant was amended and obtained by Detective Lewis. 3 JVC camcorders and the hard drive to a computer was removed for extraction based on numerous objects and items indicated possible child pornography. So they took his computers and JVC camcorders as a result of objects and items that was found implementing that this man was also may have been involved in child pornography. So whatever this evidence and objects that they found tying him into children, they took his computer and his JVC camcorders because they believed the evidence that they had inside these computers and camcorders was also child pornography that he had been being involved in. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Very crazy.
You want to say something on that, sis?
I want to say a lot of things you addressed, but
Go ahead.
I don't know how we're doing for time. But,
We good on time. Don't worry about it.
okay, so that's crazy. So in order, this is not, these cops obviously have dealt with people that are sick and are rapists and are, you know, guilty of child pornography. So they've seen something in there that connected it to children, not just pornography, but for them to say possible child pornography, There must have been a bear with some type of BDSD or like bondage thing on them, or some type of child, an object, numerous objects that are tied to children, but then also have a sexual connotation to it. There was something.
Yeah, because remember, so this is the rape unit. So you know when the calls come out, police just don't come out. Depending on what the call is what unit they send out. So if it's a call about rape, they send out the rape unit. If it's a call on death, they send out the homicide unit. If it's a call on robbery, they send out the burglary unit. Go ahead though. So this is the rape unit. Going back to what you said.
Yeah, and just to understand his mental state, he sounds like someone that is not all the way put together, because you don't commit a crime and go right back out and commit another crime. If I commit a crime, I rob a bank and I got away with robbing a bank, my first inclination is not, let me go rob another bank down a different street. No, you're gonna be like, dang, I got away with it.
Yeah, let me chill.
Let me start to, process what just happened. Let me hide the money. What am I gonna do? Like,
let me see if they on my trail. Let me see if they on my trail.
You're not thinking about
back to back
24 hours. Go ahead. Within 24 hours, doing it again. Unless you're crazy, unless you're a psychopath, and unless you've been getting away with this for a very long time. That's why I feel like he's been killing the women. Black women go missing all the time, and he targeted them on purpose, because when we report Black women missing, the police officers don't take it serious. So
facts. Talk about it, sis, because he definitely targeting all Black women. Talk about it.
And plus, he got a stolen gun, so it entices him to kill and to commit more crimes, because he's very confident, like, whatever bullets they find, it's going to be not tied to me, it's tied to somebody else. This is not my gun, so I'm completely comfortable pulling the trigger, because it's not going to ever come back to me. It's tied to somebody else. And especially that it was stolen out of the police department. When they find out, hey, this gun is from the police department, they're gonna cover it up, because police don't want to turn on their own. So at the end of the day, he had a lot of things working for him, as far as this whole operation was well thought out, and he felt comfortable enough and crazy enough to finish. Not that he tried to rape her and she escaped the car. He raped her, then she escaped the car, and then he felt comfortable again doing it again. Like, this guy is problematic. And for him to try to say that this is white people that is trying to gang up on him and paint him in a bad light and ruin his reputation. When you go to the South, that's when I went to Atlanta, I was culture shocked. Like, when you go to the restaurants, when you go to the banks, when you go to any place of employment, I wasn't the minority anymore. Like, the people serving me, the people helping me look like me. I'm from Boston. When I go out, I usually have to deal with, I never felt like, I didn't know until I went down south how I felt there was a weight on my shoulder. Until I went there, I was like, oh, this is comfortable. I felt comfortable. My people are everywhere. So the fact that the investigators involved in this case are Black is 100. It increases the likelihood of the judge being Black, the police officers being Black, everybody involved being Black are increased, because it's down south. So that's not something that you can use. That's no.
Even and I'm pretty sure they don't want to put.
Go ahead.
And I'm pretty sure they don't want to put a rape on no Black man. So if they did this to him, again, everybody for the most part involved in here is Black. The lead detective is a Black woman. The victims are Black women.
Right.
Go ahead.
But yeah, this new evidence, at least it's new to me, is just showing us how of an animal this person really is, and so how his mind is not put together, and you should be hiding your kids and hiding your wives from this individual, because even in the car, he got blankets in the back seat. If you're already operating like an animal, if you're already operating as a savage, if you're already operating as a criminal, why are you trying to be all respectable and courteous by having blankets? You're literally taking my choice away from me as a woman to rape me, and then you want to have blankets in the back to like, oh, clean off yourself, or oh, let me make you comfortable. It's just, it's giving psychopath, and it's giving this
Or a
person
roll up.
all the way.
Or a roll up, sis, to roll up the evidence without him having to do that much cleaning and covering up behind himself. You roll out the blankets and seats and you rape the women on them, then you roll it up and throw it away because all the evidence is on that. You get what I'm saying? But go ahead.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. So back where we started from, what we talking about, this dude, we're going to prove that this dude was actually really going to kill these women, or probably have killed women, but he definitely was going to kill these women. We just saw that.
I'm very convinced that he kills women. He literally had multiple phones in his house.
Right.
Of different victims that never was able to come forward. And he's been doing this for years. This is cases from 2017, but he's been doing this for decades, and he only gets his thirst and his hunger for committing crimes is only going to grow as years go on. Like, and again, Black women are an easy target because the police system and justice system works against us. They don't really take us serious. And even when we go to the hospitals and we say we're in pain, they don't really take us serious over a white woman that would come to the hospital and have a complaint of rape or whatever. They're going to take it way more serious than us. So no, he's literally killing these women.
Yeah, because when you look
driving off and not wanting you to leave his car for no little light reason. He doesn't want you to leave the car because
after you raped him.
Right, because the place he's taking you, you're not going to be able to go back home.
Right.
If anything, if he just wanted, okay, fine, I'm not bringing her home. I'm not bringing her to her location. Fine, leave my car to do what I got to do. You have the wrong information on me. I don't care. No, he said, no, I don't. He was literally, thank God he didn't put the car on child lock, that door. But he was literally not trying to have that girl leave because he was going to finish her off.
Yeah, I definitely believe that. And I'm going to show more evidence and proof of that. In this new evidence, we see that. We see he had a gun with him when he was with these women. We're going to see him threatening to kill these women. We see that he actually cut and stabbed one of the other women. We just saw that Shannon was stabbed. I mean, not Shannon, that Cameron was stabbed. But we're going to read some, and we see that when Kiera was trying to get out of the car, he accelerated so that she couldn't get out of the car after he raped her. So I don't, first of all, let's just keep it real too. When you go as far as raping people against their will, you taking women against their will, you raping them. These are strangers too. You already know you have to have the mind to kill to do this, especially when you choosing Black women as your victims, especially when a woman don't really know you like that. So you a stranger, you raping these women, and you going up in these women raw. He raping these women raw without condoms. So you going up in these women raw.
Because he's gonna kill them. So he doesn't care about going raw.
Right.
That's number one.
And this is exactly what I'm saying. When you raping somebody, you have to know murder is considered. Murder is considered, because you have to know when you're raping these women, all these women is not going to just give in to rape, especially when they being taken against their will and have the fear that they might finna die. So in these Black women, so you figure they'll be like, well, if I'm gonna die, I might well fight you, like we're going to see Karen did. Karen Hill started fighting him back. You get what I'm saying? When he ended up cutting her, you know. And you have to know that he have to look, when you're raping, murder is definitely the also in the plan. Simple as that. Simple as that. Make no mistake about it. We're finna see even more of this. So I stopped right here where they said this man is actually some of this evidence, the thing that was taken up from his house. It's indicating that this man is dealing in possible child pornography also. And see, some of that evidence was thrown out too. Some of that evidence was thrown out too, and why he probably wasn't charged with this stuff as a result of that warrant thing. You get what I'm saying? So let's go on.
He did only choose small little women anyway, so
facts.
Sense.
Okay, so we going back down here. So it says on 6/23/17, the search warrant was executed for the person Christopher Gunsby and executed in the DeKalb County Jail. Sample of his DNA through a collection of his saliva using buccal swabs was submitted to the GBI for testing along with the victims. Sexual assault collection. Suspected blood samples from the front passenger door. Suspected semen samples from the front passenger seat, and positive presumptive tests. So the tests came back positive on him. Like when he was talking, oh, my kits is negative. Absolutely not. Preliminary hearing was conducted on 7/6/17. Now, this right here is showing even more. Now, as we go down, notice the head detective, her name right here is Katrina Evans. This is a black woman. So Katrina Evans is the head detective of this situation. Then it's showing you the size of these women. So look at Karen Hill. Look at how small she was. So Karen Hill at the time, this woman was 49 years old. She's 49 years old. She's a female and she's black. She's 5'3". 5'3" tall. This is a small lady. 5'3". She's 5'3". I can't hardly make out this writing, but she's between 115 to 145 pounds. That's what this says. So she's 5'3", 115 to 145. That's what they're saying. She's black color hair, straight, long. Her eyes is brown. So this is a small lady, 5'3", between 115, 145. She little. Then we have Michael Rucker, the guy who actually was a witness who saw it happen, and this was a black man also. So these all black people. Now, watch this. As we even prove even more that he was going to kill these women. On June 18, 2017, approximately, I responded to 4865 Glenwood Road in reference to a person stabbed. See that? So they got a stabbing call that a woman had been stabbed. Upon my arrival, I observed the victim, Karen Hill. See, he stabbed Karen. That's the woman who getting out of the car from him, who fought him off after he forced her to give him head. So she was stabbed. Karen Hill was running across, I can't really see the words, but I'm just saying Swelling Drive, holding her right wrist, which was bleeding from a cut. Miss Hill was being followed by a witness, Michael Rucker, the black man, who was attempting to give Miss Hill a shirt to help stop the bleeding. So she was bleeding so bad, he tried to get her a shirt to put pressure on it to stop the bleeding. Mr. Rucker advised me that he did not know Miss Hill. However, he stopped to help her after he seen her get out of a black SUV that had stopped in the intersection of Swelling Drive and Glenwood Road. Mr. Rucker stated that Miss Hill got out of the vehicle screaming for help. Mr. Rucker stated that the vehicle turned left and went west towards Interstate 285. Mr. Rucker advised me that Miss Hill knocked on his neighbor's door located at 4875 Glenwood Road before running towards his house. Miss Hill had blood all over her right hand, as well as her legs and her dress. So she was bleeding bad. Okay. And he slit her at the wrist. And you know, usually that's when people commit suicide. They cut at the wrist where some of the main veins and artery at, so that you could bleed out. So he cut her at the wrist, okay, while she was getting out of the car. Let's see what he said to her. So she bleeding at her hand, she bleeding her legs, and all over her dress. It's look how bad she was bleeding, how they record. It said Miss Hill had blood all over her right hand, as well as her legs, in her dress. Miss Hill was yelling, "Help me, help me, take me home," with a strong odor of alcohol. So he tried to take advantage of her because she was inebriated. Coming from her breath. Miss Hill advised me that she was at 4019 Glenwood Road, Juicy Joint Lounge, with her ex-boyfriend or her sister prior to the incident. Miss Hill stated that she was drinking and having a good time when she met the suspect. Miss Hill advised when she looked up, her sister and her ex-boyfriend was gone. At first, Miss Hill stated that she got into the suspect vehicle when he offered her a ride home. Then Miss Hill stated that she got into the suspect vehicle, thinking that it was her sister's vehicle. Miss Hill advised me that while the suspect was driving, he asked her to suck his dick. And when she refused, the suspect told her, watch this, y'all, "Suck my dick or I'm going to kill you." Miss Hill advised me that wait.
Suspect grab.
Hold on, wait.
You're right there.
Advised me that suspect grabbed the back of her head and attempted to force her to perform oral sex. Miss Hill advised that she stated to the suspect, "I don't care if the car is moving, I'll jump out." And Miss Hill jumped out of the vehicle. Miss Hill stated that she do not know at one point she was cut and did not see a knife or any other cutting tool. Because remember, her back was turned. So she don't know when exactly he cut her because she was too busy trying to get the hell up out of that car. So, and she don't know what he cut her with. But it say EMS unit 68 responded to the scene and transported Miss Hill to DeKalb Medical Hospital, Highlandale, for her injuries. A bolo was put out in reference to the suspect, and I notified SVU Detective Evans, that's the black woman. Unit 960, Detective Evans responded to the scene and took over the investigation. So the black lady came, took over the investigation. So what's going on here, sis? Here's Miss Hill inebriated at a bar. He come pick her up, force her to give him head, threatened to kill her. She ended up getting into a struggle with him as a result of him forcing her to give him head. They get into it. She reaching to get up out of the car. And as she getting out of the car, he ends up stabbing her. What do you see of this? Think of this.
Chris, I don't have any comments, but it's pretty straightforward. It's literally all you have to do is just take the police statement for what it is. He's a violent, reckless person that's guilty of kidnapping, in my opinion, and rape, and all that.
Facts. And we see right here that this was actually Karen's. Right here. This was actually Karen's blood. Right there. This was they got her blood out of the car, right, confirming her story. She didn't even know the man at all. And it's showing this what they got out of his truck right here, where he was raping these women in. That's what this showing. That's why it's, look. And he had it all laid out. We finna show you something. Look, he had it all laid out where he raped these women. So he told Karen suck my dick or I'ma kill you. And now look what they showing right here. Now this is where he took the girl. Here's the abandoned house. Keep in mind, this is in the light. Remember, these incidents happened at night. This is at light. So imagine this at nighttime. Look at how spooky and dark that is. That's an abandoned house. It's covered by, there go that address, 7385. They said the abandoned house. The vacant abandoned house. Look at this. Look at this. Of course they can't hear these women. Look at this. He knew exactly where to go.
Right.
And look, and keep in mind, y'all, this is at night. At night in the South.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. No street lights. Pitch black dark. Look at this. Could you imagine this right here just at nighttime? No street lights.
Won't be able to see, yeah.
Look at that. Where you gonna go?
Right.
Look at this. This is the area. Look at it. Look at this. Look at that. Where can you go? Now look what Karen Hill said right here. Now let's go back. Remember, we also want to prove he was going to kill these women. That y'all got this man. This man got y'all convinced in battle rap. He a nerd. This man is a stone cold raping killer. Watch this.
It's the quiet ones you got to be worried about.
Like history always show you, these serial killers always look innocent, look harmless, be quiet, be handsome, and think, you get what I'm saying? To win you over, to lure you in so you can drop your guard. So look what Karen Hill, look, this is the statement of Karen Hill, right? This is a statement that she did. It's an audio recording, right? She went to Junior's joint with her sister, right? Whatever this is, jump or grump. So I guess her name's Sandra. Sandra or Elder. That's the number, however. King you, or I take you where you going, or gunpoint. This gunpoint, because this looked like a G. This is Xerox, so it's meant to. It looked like GUNPIONT. Change face. You are going to do what I say. You are going to do what I say. Showed me a gun. Showed me a gun. Something down here said moan or something like that. So I don't know. Maybe he was telling her, when you giving me head, moan, so he could be more, because that's moan. That's not a name, because her name Karen Hill. So if she's saying what he did to her, I guess she basically was telling them that when he was forcing her to give him head, he was telling her to moan too or something. So he was coaching her through the rape. That's what that's showing. And this
I think that says, I'll take you home when you're done. But the police officer didn't write the done part.
I'll take you when you're done.
And then
I know they say I'll take you where you, or you think to say when? I'll take you where? I don't see no H right there. It look like WERE.
The shorthand. Yeah.
I take you where you, I don't know, but you can make out what's going on here. I take you where you something. This look like gunpoint. Like I said, GU. I see the G, I see the U. I don't know if this end. This look like a PIOT, maybe. I don't know. But this say change face. But right here is clear. You are going to do what I say. Showed me a gun. Remember, he got caught with that gun. Then we hear moan in quotation marks, telling her to moan. Right? Okay.
All right. Sorry.
So then if we,
Go ahead.
Yeah. So then if we go down here, we now start to see down here the preliminary hearing, audio, things like that. So let's get to this. So these right here are the people who found probable cause for what he did, showing again their certification of being experts in these things, examining the evidence by which this man did the things he did. You know what I'm saying? Like right here, I am satisfied that there is probable cause to believe that the certain person, property, items, article, instruments specifically described herein are being concealed on the premise persons above described, that reasonable grounds exist for the application and insurance of this search warrant. So these are people signing off under oath, putting their reputations on the line, by which there is probable cause of this man's actually being charged and indicted on rape for what he did to these women. Now, let's go down to this story right here. So
So these are affidavits basically to collect evidence from the guy, and then also attached to the affidavit is the stories, the crime connected to it. So if you go to the first one, they were just collecting, and that's why they checked off what they're actually collecting, and then the statement to go along with it.
Right. So watch this, like buckle sales. So that's weird. So the facts establishing probable cause and searching for and seizing foregoing specifically described persons, property, items, articles, instruments connected with the foregoing.
So you want to go to the top so you can talk about how who they're getting this from. It tells them he's arrested and everything. Black male wearing orange jumpsuit, all that.
Yeah,
you want to go there? Okay, fine.
Just for time's sake, because I'm looking at it like we like an hour and 2 minutes in right now.
Go ahead. Yeah, let's go. Go down. Scroll. It's fine.
Yeah. So
I thought we were good.
Yeah, no, we an hour in. You know,
Okay,
like I said, this paper is 105 pages, but I want to get to this one right here. Okay. So the facts establishing probable cause and searching and for seizing the foregoing specifically described persons, property, items, articles, instruments connected with the foregoing crimes at the location described herein, set forth facts connecting all crimes, items searched for and seized at the location to be searched. So watch this. Remember, we're proving without a doubt on his new evidence and everything that he was going to kill these women. Okay, some of these women he was going to kill.
I don't think he left anybody.
I'm going to read this one.
He didn't leave them alive by him choosing to leave them alive. They're alive because they went against his plan and or whatever orchestrated plan he had to do. He was not going to have them leave. So no, they're only living because they literally fought for their lives.
Yeah, because right here it says that the victim Shannon Smith. So this was the first victim recorded in 2015. Shannon, that's the black girl who came forth in the battle rap community that they ran out after she confronted him on what he did and went and said she was in fear of her life, and if she died, she wanted everybody to know her rapist killed her if something was to happen to her because he had moved in her neighborhood. Then he tricked the battle rap community again into believing that was a lie. But watch this. Let's read this though. It says the victim Shannon Smith stated that she was picked up by the suspect, later identified as Christopher Gumpy, to get gas for her vehicle. She stated that the suspect drove behind an office building and told her if she screamed, she is dead. There you go again. Do you think this man just throwing this stuff out here, sis? Like telling them, if you scream, you dead. Why do you believe he meant that? Why do you believe that?
Because he's literally taking by force someone's right to say no. So if you're gonna go and go inside somebody's private parts while they're telling you no, and you still think it's okay to, and he's doing this repeatedly to multiple people, something in your head doesn't know how to respect boundaries. and you want what's not yours, and you're okay with taking it by force. So if you're a violent person committing multiple rapes, you're going to be violent enough to strike a person, punch a person, shoot a person, and kill a person to go along with your crime. Your crime is already violent as it is, without a gun, without a knife. And he's already proven to get violent.
Right, because we already see that he stabbed Karen. He stabbed Karen while she was jumping out of the car, fighting him off. So it says, he said this to her, if you scream, you is dead. And this what I mean by we have to know that this is true, because you already raping them. These are women you don't even know where they could at least, where you could actually may sympathize with somebody you might know, even when you doing them harm to the point that you might not want to kill them because you probably know them. But these are strangers, by which it even makes it more
unattached. He's unattached to them, right?
Right.
Not if they live or die.
Facts. Thanks for that, sis. He's unattached. Don't matter if you live or die. And you got to know if he raping them against their will, he mean what he's saying. And you got to know murder is considered when you going out on these raping rampages, taking these women against their will without their knowledge, knowing that they got children, knowing that they can tell on you, knowing that, you know what I'm saying, you might not get away with this. So you have to know that murder is considered when doing something like this. So I believe when he said that, now he said the same thing to Karen, suck my dick or I'm gonna kill you. Now he's saying to her, now remember, these are women giving their own accounts who don't even know each other. None of these women know each other. These at 3 different times, and all 3 of these women is black. This the 3rd black woman. Mm-hmm. He says he told her, if you scream, she is dead, and told her to go to the back of his vehicle. He opened the rear hatch back of his vehicle and told her to get on her knees. Then told her to perform oral sex on him. The suspect then told her to lay down. That blanket and sheet. Lay down, and then he penetrated her with his penis and ejaculated in her mouth. The suspect then fled the scene in his vehicle and left the victim on the scene. She ran. Watch this. She ran to the main road and waved down a passing vehicle and called the police. The victim, this is the actions of a raped woman. To go out in the middle of traffic while it's happening, remember, he left the nut on her face. She went to the hospital with his sperm all on her face. So imagine a woman running out in traffic, waving down your car with the raper man nut still all over her face. Come on, man. That's a rape victim all day long. That's not a woman who you casually had sex with and y'all got into it. And no, this woman ran into traffic. Look and say, she ran to the main road, waved down the passing vehicle, because these passengers are witnesses also. These, not passengers, these cars that's stopping to pull these women, they are their witnesses also of what happened. And they taking these women to the hospital. Look, she ran to the main road, waved down the passing vehicle, and called the police. The victim was transported to the hospital when a sexual assault kit was performed. The SAK was taken to the GBI for testing. The results of the SAK through the combined DNA index system of the GBI, the DNA to match the Cobb County police case, which is another rape case. The suspect identified to have the matching DNA is Christopher Gunsby. So this man ain't being charged because of some racial profiling or charged because somebody trying to set him up. This man DNA was found not only in her, but another woman to match him to these 2 rapes that they was looking for him on. And he telling these women, if y'all don't do this, I'ma kill y'all.
Listen, and the Karen situation is different. The only reason why she was able to escape is because she had no information or dealings with him. She didn't hit him up off of Craigslist. She didn't have any information on him. So he didn't care about taking her to kill her. He was just giving her a ride to go get gas. She didn't got no picture on her phone. She don't have any information on her phone about him other than his seeming like an idiot. Like, he's acting crazy. This guy is a psychopath.
Yeah, well, he can't be mentally right if you raping women anyway. He can't be mentally saying here you raping women anyway. Like, and you going up in these women raw. Like, this dude is terrible, man.
But the only reason why he would probably try to kill you is if you have information on him. If you hitting him up, he has to send his information, his car, what his car looked like, his face, picture, all that. He's not trying to take you back. He don't want you to escape.
Right. And look at what he said. Look at what he said. He told her to get in the back. Look, get in the back and get on your knees. Look, there go his little layout.
Of the office building. How does he know that there was no cameras back there too? That's this guy.
Yeah, and that's another thing about them raping men.
He already has spots already designated.
Facts.
So that he could operate on the fly. Someone could see him on the street, like, hey, I need to get gas. Can you help me? And that's another thing too, down south, and especially when I went to Atlanta, there's plenty of cars pulled over. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with all these cars? Because people run out of gas because everything's so spaced out. As far as how the roads are, how the big and spaced out everything is. When we were going for a 20-minute ride, it took us literally 20 minutes or more to get someplace. I'm not used to that. I could see. I used to get some, like, if right now if I go somewhere and it says 15 minutes away, I can get there in 12, 13 minutes. If I'm riding fast or I'm doing something, like, it's not a full 15 minutes. Over there, everything is very spaced out, very far away from each other. So if you running on E and you think you can make a stop somewhere, you're going to run out of gas. And I've seen it. People pulled over on the side of the road.
And if you notice, like I said, he's an Uber driver. You see what he's doing right now. Right now in battle rap, he traveled everywhere. Oh, I'm in Arizona. Oh, I'm in this place. So you know he know his way around Atlanta where he at. Like you said, he know where all the spots at. Depending on who he raped, where he raped her at, he already know the locations he could take her in that area. He know he can't drive too far with the victims who he trying to rape. So he know he got duck off spots. He got duck off
because he has to act like he's going to that location. Go ahead.
Back. He got he's the Uber driver. Like, they know they way around it. He know the back roads. Like, he knew how to take that girl to that abandoned house where those woods was at and nobody was in them houses. That and he do landscaping. See what I'm saying? Like, this dude, like you say, first of all, no such thing as a perfect crime, because you're gonna always mess up. Even though he thought he had his stuff down pat, he got the dye kits. Why didn't those sis? He got the dye kits to make him look younger, to make him like he got the hair growth stuff to make him look like he got hair. So if a victim say, yeah, he was dizzy out here, like, I ain't got no hair. I ain't never had no hair. He got that. He got the makeup kit to make him look darker. He got the burnout phones. He got the fake credit cards. He got the counterfeit money. He got the Craigslist ads on Uber. This dude had the whole foolproof rape operation going on, like, literally. Like, that's crazy. And he definitely, listen, man, when you doing that, murder is definitely included. You ain't just finna be raping women out of nowhere, and murder is not also included. I'm sorry. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe.
Yeah, he's doing it regularly. He made it a hobby. He had a whole operation on how he does it. So yes, he's going to kill people.
And just like any other rapist,
this one person that turned me down, and I wanted her, and let me, go to her house and stalk her. And no, these are strangers. As first time meeting them, comfortable, repeatedly, back to back, taking people's freaking choices away from them. No.
And then you got to remember too, sis, they start getting sloppy with time. That's why he started getting sloppy off in his 40s. See, he in his late 40s. He's starting to get sloppy with it now because he's been doing it for so long. Yeah, he's sloppy with it. You get what I'm saying? That's how come I know it's more victims than this. And even the Shannon woman said the police was saying we've been looking for him for a long time. It's other things we've tried to tie him into. Because I don't believe that you just start at 40 and start raping these women like that. I just don't believe it. And when I see sis how his mama and them is not actually even. Look, when your child go to jail as a mama, none of his family members saying free my cousin, free my brother, free my son, free my nephew, none of that. And even when he got out, nobody welcome home, and they active on social media. That right there is very telling. That's very telling. And what it shows is that your family know. Your family know, bro. Like, stop playing, man. That man literally, when that man was saying he was gonna kill them, he meant that. Okay, so you a rape a man telling you already finna rape him, so you telling them you gonna kill him, but you don't mean you gonna kill him. So what if a woman say, no, I ain't giving you nothing, kill me then? What you think he gonna do? After he already then exposed his hand of what he finna do to you. And then keep in mind, he not just telling these women, do this, I'ma kill you. They see his gun. She said he showed me his gun. You think that man finna play with him? Play with them? He already stabbed her jumping out of the car, tried to slit her wrist. Not tried, he did slit her wrist. I said tried. He actually did slit her wrist. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, what we doing here? Facts. Yeah, come on, man.
Dangerous.
And these people in battle rap playing game. Yeah, Harlem legend. You talking about too real for battle rap? Yeah, brother, how you gonna cover no stuff like that? Now I'm giving it to you. Matter of fact, I'm sending you the paperwork and documentation too, brother. I'm gonna hold you to too real for battle rap. We're gonna see if you, and don't give me this. No, I ain't gonna get into nobody case. Oh, this is something for the battle rap community to definitely be aware of. This is about battle rap. You got the number one grandfather of battle rap blogging sitting up here, multiple raping black women, threatening them, cutting them, and taking them, trying to take them off in areas to get rid of them. And y'all sitting up, no. Well, I know you just got here, so I'm not saying y'all. I'm talking about other people. But I'm giving you the stuff that y'all know about now. And that's what's so shameful about these people. Cole and them, y'all supposed to be talking about this. Black Compass and them, y'all supposed to be talking about this. Angry Fan, y'all supposed to be talking about this. Trying to save and rescue and protect this man. How? Well, we just gonna wait till the case over. Case over, get the paperwork now. You waiting for the case over, guess what that means? That you scared to confront him while he in your presence. That's what that means. Because when the case over, he already gone. He ain't gonna hear nothing y'all gotta say. He ain't gonna see your face, ain't gonna hear nothing you gotta say. So when y'all saying, we just gonna wait till the case over, that just means you scared to confront him now and tell it like it is now. That's all that means. It don't mean nothing else.
One thing I respect about Battle Truth, and I will say this, when I got locked up, he said I was guilty. When I was in jail a year, he said I was guilty. When I was in jail 2 years, he said I was guilty. When he heard I was coming out, he said I was guilty. When I got out, he said I was guilty. And even right now, he said he kept the same energy.
That's all I'm saying right there, sis. Whenever they done talking, you supposed to be talking about this. Restore order, Sway Sub and them, y'all supposed to be talking about this. You don't supposed to be keeping this quiet. Y'all don't supposed to be playing no games on this. You're supposed to be talking about this. Because again, if it was me, I know for a fact y'all would be talking about it if this was me. Let me rape these girls. Let me put pistols on them. Let me cut them at their wrist. Let me been driving off with them, hitting the blocks with them. Let me been indicted by a grand jury of 23, fingerprinted, 2 years in the county, another year on house arrest, fighting the case, awaiting trial, getting offered plea deals. Sis, do you really think they would be quiet if this was me? You think they'll be this protective and quiet, sis, if this was actually about me?
No.
Absolutely not. What? I don't get it. You either gonna stand for it or you don't. You represent truth or you don't. You are advocate for women and children or not. What are you talking about? Stop with these well, we just gonna wait. A man is innocent to proven guilty. No, this man already been proven to be a lie. All the evidence is against him. The victim came out, said what he did. All this stuff is true. All this stuff is true. Stop being naive to the facts. Stop avoiding the paperwork that y'all already know about. That's crazy.
Right. And it's still it's still relevant. On Summer Madness, they were talking about it. Earlier this 2 months ago, Chris UNBIAS was talking about he felt some type of way when people distance themselves from him because of this case. So it's being talked in battle rap currently. Even earlier on with gyms talking about, oh yeah, you needed to wait more, come up with a better lie before you went public, coaching people on how to lie better and to see the community better. So this is something that is still relevant, still happening, and still current. He and Chris UNBIAS himself is still trying to convince and speak on those that speak negatively or promote this case or distance themselves from him. He still is acting like you shouldn't. That is not a good way to respond to this information. Like, no, this is something that still needs to be talked about, especially since he's still active and has no shame or remorse to be in front of a camera and think that people still want to see your face and hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I just don't like the fake stuff. I don't like...
Your volume is very low. I don't know what happened.
What about right now?
It's low, man. Since you played that video.
What about right now?
It's better. You have to talk loud. Yeah, talk loud.
Okay, look, this is what I'm saying. What I don't like, could you hear me clear?
Did I?
Yeah, could you hear me clear?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, look, what I don't like is people always want to try to say something after he make them mad. I'm talking about not only is this man comfortable in the community.
Right, that's happened this year.
Yeah, not only
the block captain and all that. They were
right, easy too. You don't want to say nothing. But when you thought it was about me, and he still be trying to put that trash on me. He very vocal about me, but then try to be hush about UNBIAS. Battle rap trap. Like, we got the streets. How all these so-called real niggas who got the streets, who so-called real, and I'm gonna stand on truth, and I'm hood, I'm block, I'm this and that. But you're trying to ignore this. But here's UNBIAS so comfortable in this community, and he be blasting all them dudes. He literally this man be doing stock drops on all them, talking about how their life is terrible. This man got a whole nother segment where he got Cole and them and all them all being meat eaters, showing how they just be riding cats. Hold on. Matter of fact, I'm going to play it. This is what he talking about. He talking about Cole and them all on this right here. Let me play this, man. Right here.
Car before. Bro, that nigga a meat rider, bro. You can't tell me that you think that nigga ain't a meat rider. No.
He was talking about them because he got a meat rider thing where he got Polo on it, Cola on it, D.I. the Henny Man them on it. I'm talking about literally holding these niggas ransom while they still try to get this man a pardon. Still trying to reason and trying to sweep under the rug what this guy actually doing. Yeah. I'm talking about then do a stock drop on people, telling them about their life. Like, nigga, how you gonna do a stock drop on people's life for not doing good in battle rap and you raping women? Like, bro, stock drop. You is the damn stock drop list. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah. And what's crazy, I just don't get that. I really don't get that. Like, guys be trying so hard to act like they real, but you actually showing you fake. Ain't nothing real about being silent and quiet about what this man done. Ain't nothing real about that at all, in no type of way. That's what's crazy about it, that you can't confront it, that you can't call it out, that you won't call it out. From the AIP, D.I. the Henny Man, Restore Order, Cola and them, Black Compass, Harlem them, now y'all here. You better say something. Qua, you better say something. Y'all talking about street stuff. Easy the block captain, take this walk with me. How are y'all quiet on what this man is doing? Like, literally out here stabbing women, trying to go off with them to bury them. Like, really got real setups to where which you raping these women and all these, like, what are you doing? Like, this a game. These all black women, like literally black women. Like, come on, what are we doing? Come on, stop with these games. Stop with these games. See stuff like that. But it is what it is. They don't have to say nothing. You don't have to say nothing because people don't expect for y'all to say nothing anyway. I know A-Dep gonna bum on it because that's what he do. He gonna bum on it just like I bum on it. Okay, I know that's gonna happen. Hell, DME Detroit might say something, but it is what it is. Y'all don't have to say nothing. The truth is the truth. At the end of the day, it is what it is.
One thing I respect about Battle Truth, and I will say this. When I got locked up, he said I was guilty. When I was in jail a year, he said I was guilty. When I was in jail 2 years, he said I was guilty. When he heard I was coming out, he said I was guilty. When I got out, he said I was guilty. And even right now, he said he kept the same energy.